Welcome to Magic on Tap, the Magic the Gathering and Beer Review podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Xavier.
And today we're talking a little bit about the new set that we just got some spoilers for. March of the Machine. And then we're also going to talk a little bit more about some combos that came out with some of the most recent sets that we like.
Yeah, we'll be doing our Power 9 with just some MOMbo combos from Phyrexia All Will Be One.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Before we get to that, Jack, what you pouring?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I am pouring Ventinus from Schneiderweiss.
Yes.
So,
I guess we should say that
our
once again, always forget.
We forget.
Our theme for beers this episode is we are going to be doing combo beers, quote unquote. So, beers that are two styles smashed together, beers that have a couple different adjuncts in it, just something to change it up so it's not just the base. Even though we complain about adjuncts all the time on this show. But fuck you guys, it's our podcast. But also thanks for listening.
But also fuck you. So,
don't get too high and mighty.
No, stay in your lane. So Ventinus is a Weissen Doppelbock or Weissen whatever, which sounds really weird, but it's great and I love it. It's 8.2%, and it's just pretty much good all around.
It's an import, right?
Oh, yeah. From Bavaria.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Neat.
What do you... Oh, God. What do you have?
Checking out the Barkeep Upkeep. I am checking in Dragon in the Sky from Wiseman, and they are out of North Carolina. They're out of Winston-Salem in North Carolina. Dragon in the Sky is a super Saison, which immediately drew my eye, because I'm like, what does that mean? And it was brewed with grapes, which sounds really weird. I can't wait to try it.
That's just wine.
Yeah, It doesn't say what kind of grapes. I'm hoping it's like fucking grape-ass grapes, like Concord grapes. Not like wine grapes, but I'm sure it's going to be wine grapes. I will say, quick shout-out, this was a close second for me, and I've had it before. Edmund's Oast out of North Carolina, South Carolina, Charleston, Carolina. Right? They make a sour that was brewed with Concord grapes, and it tastes like grape soda, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, they have some pretty good stuff.
So, what's your first sip? Tasting like Buddy?
It's good. It's definitely like undercarved from what you would normally have, and I think that's part of the draw to it. But yeah, it's really good. It's definitely a mix between the two styles that it has listed on there, and honestly, it's a good thing I only got one bottle, because I would probably just like down this and open another one after it, because
that's always my problem. Cool.
How's yours tasting?
Mine is like a bubblegum explosion, which is pretty typical in Saisons. You get a lot of that clovey bubblegum taste. With it being a super Saison, it makes sense that it's doubled up. On the back end, you get a lot of that grape tinge to it. It's very Saison up front, and then as it sits in my mouth, it feels like I just took a sip of wine, which is interesting. If you like Saisons, I would definitely get this beer. I prefer my Saisons to be more peppercorny. Like, I like that out of the Saison yeast. I've never really liked the bubblegum thing. I'm not a big Belgian guy either because of that. Or a Hefeweizen guy. Though I will fuck up that Aventus all day long. And then it'll fuck me up because it's really strong. It is worth mentioning.
Absolutely.
The Super Saison is 9.1%. And 31 IBUs.
How many IBUs is it?
It's 31. It's not that bitter. I've had a beer with 80 IBUs before, so
Yeah. Oh God. Well, shall we move on to the Untapped set?
Yeah, let's move right on. For those who don't know, if it's your first time, new listener, Dorian. Also, shout out to Dorian on YouTube for leaving us a comment and giving us good feedback. And learning the name of our awesome theme song, which is called
Cruising for
Goblins.
By Kevin MacLeod.
There you go. Shout out to Kevin. Free.
Your entire existence on the internet, if you hear any music, half of it could be attributed to him.
Yeah, he's the fucking man. Anyway, not familiar with Untapped Step. It is where we read off Untapped reviews about the beers that we're drinking. Untapped is a great platform. People fucking don't know how to use it, and we're the only people that know how to use it in the whole entire world, and everyone else is using it wrong.
Yes. Correct.
So, Jack, what do you got for Untapped reviews?
So, annoyingly, most people are pretty either reserved or just like not stupid on this one, but I did manage to find a couple. This one is from Dave Hennig. Said, had it again tonight. Thanks, Dave. This beer is a perfect encapsulation of what would expect from the style, ... Fresh baked banana bread with soft/subtle milk chocolate, caramel notes, he misspelled and, ... Spicy clove, ... Just off, one word, hyphen dry, finish, ... Almost vinous, ... Gorgeous. It's just a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's like somebody compiled a list of sound bites from people that like different movie reviewers and threw it on a poster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. It reminds me of that ice cream meme where he like tastes the ice cream and he's like, the milk flavor. I don't. That's what it reminds me of. Rising up.
Stop! I can hear how wet your lips are, and it's gross.
You're welcome.
You know what the worst part is about working at a brewery is people will do that, and we'll give good sample sizes out because I don't want somebody to drink backwash and like try and decide if they want a beer, and they will sit there and I'm like, do you want more to try? Just like fucking decide. Do you like it or no? You shouldn't have to suckle. I don't want to listen to Hannibal Lecter on the other side of the bar talking about fava beans.
Like
a nice Chianti.
I appreciate the people that walk up and they're like, "Hey, do you have anything that's like this?" And you go, "Yeah, do you want to try it?" And they say, "No, I'll just give me a pint."
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh my god, completely off topic. I was at Divine Barrel. Shout out to Divine Barrel. They got some good stuff. And the people in front of us, they were standing there for a while, and I was like, have these people not been served? Like, what's going on? And then turns out they ordered 3 flights.
Gross.
And I'm like, y'all, fucking other people want to order beer.
Yep.
There are a lot of people here.
No, it's their time. They're going to take their time. We'll get into flights in a second when I get to mine, because I will be talking about them some more.
Right. And then they don't know how to carry. Like, people never know how to carry flights, so they're like, walking all slow and shit.
They can't pick their fucking beer, and then it's like that dude trying to hold the lemons meme where they're or limes where they're like, I hold all these. Yeah, it's like, you have a board. Pick up the board with your little fingies and carry it away.
God, it's so annoying.
If you can't carry it, you shouldn't be able to drink it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's good. The last thing I'll say about this is I don't know what he means by this beer is a perfect encapsulation of what he did miss. First burp. It was not a good one.
First.
He missed a word of what would expect from the style. I don't know what you would expect from this style. I didn't know what to expect the first time I had this. But okay, he gave it 5 stars, so that's cool. Neat. Appreciate you, Dave. Next one is from Aaron Hohenstein.
Dope.
Yeah. And he gave it 3.25. Ooh, not good enough for 3.5. And said, same can be said as the one before. The spice in this Bach is super strong, but again grew on me and almost had a applesauce aftertaste. Maybe with some cinnamon.
What?
Aaron, just take a seat. I need to just chat with you for a second. I don't know if something is wrong with your taste buds or you just don't know what beer is. But
that's so interesting. I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say.
I had to take another taste there. What the fuck? I don't get it. It tastes like, I mean, it's really malty. So like, maybe you could get some apple sauce. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, and I also just appreciate that he opened with "same can be said as the one before." No one's looking at all of the shit that you've reviewed, Aaron.
Maybe he meant the same beer he had. Maybe he had this before, and it was a second check-in. Maybe he's just housing them. And what if this was like his third one in a row? And now it's
this dude is just fucking downing 700 milliliter bottles of 8.2% fucking Doppelbock.
He forgot to mention that he also started this day with 3 shots of Goldschlager.
Yeah, he was very happy when cinnamon was invented and it tasted just like Goldschlager.
Shout out to our earlier episodes. Go back and listen. I don't know what it was. It was like episode 2.
Want to like 2 or 3. Go back and listen to those or watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's all I got for that. So, what do you got for the Untapped step?
Cool. Mine is gonna be pretty quick here. My first one is from. Oh God! You probably. Oh God, that was horrible. You probably heard the wind up on that. That was bad. The wind up was way worse than the pitch. Yikes, I'm embarrassed. This might be the first time, out of every dumb thing I've said and done in this podcast, that might be the first embarrassing thing I've done.
Oh, wow. Yikes. Oof.
Rick K, checking in from the Brewer's Kettle in High Point, gave this beer 2.9 stars, which is a weird rating. And he said, nope. And he has a picture of a flight board.
Oh, just the board?
No, I mean, the glasses. And all of his glasses are full. So he took a picture of the glasses first in the flight board. And then just said, nope. Not a fan. I mean, I guess if you're going to get a weird beer that you're not sure if you're going to like, get it in a flight. Okay, whatever. Jesus fuck. Just like, you don't have to check it in. Like, just don't fucking check it in. Just don't give it a rating. I think you shouldn't be able to give something a rating, a numerical rating, if you're checking it in as a flight. It's not fair to me. Because it really depends. Like, if you're an animal like me, flight glasses are almost shot glasses. Like, I don't really sip and go down the line. I just drink the whole fucking thing and then go to the next one. Like, I'm drinking beer. So that's, I don't know. If you drink it too fast, you're not letting it warm up and you're not getting the full beer. If you drink it too slow, it could skunk. It's just, ugh.
And, you know, you may have other flavors on your tongue that are messing with what you're drinking on the first couple of sips.
Right,
so.
Exactly. Right. Next one is from DJ. Also checked in at the Brewer's Kettle in High Point. He is friends with Rick K. and his other buddy, David Clodfelter. Shout out to David Clodfelter. You have a weird-ass last name. So these boys clearly all went and got a flight each. So they are the worst kind of dudes. And it's always dudes. They'll roll 4 deep. They all want to fight because they're craft beer bros. And they're allowed to go out for the day and hang out with their boys. And they're always like about to be 40 and wear backwards hats.
Oh my God. It's so spot on.
Yes.
How many hazies do you have?
Right. Oh God. So DJ, unlike his buddy, gave this 3 stars instead of 2.9. Thank God there was that 0.1 fucking difference. It's like we're grading gymnastics in the Olympics. It's beer. Chill out. He just says, yuck.
Oh, wow.
Adults, they know how to use words.
You would hope so.
And my last check-in is from David Cuppet, and I just like his last name because it sounds like a command.
I don't like that command.
Cuppet. It's like, can you imagine it? It's like that's the horribly like, that's the registered version of Bop It. It's like, bop it, flick it, cup it, pull it, pull it,
no.
pull it, pull it.
No, oh God.
David Cuppet gave it 4.2 stars, 420. Sick, bro. He says, Elliot is drinking non-alcoholic beer, send help. And then he took a picture of him sticking his glass out as if he's in like a cheers motion at Elliot, who wants nothing to do with being in this picture.
Yeah, because this dude's shaming him for drinking non-alcoholic beer like a douchebag.
Hey, maybe he just he's a recovering alcoholic. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't talk so much shit about that. Maybe he's a recovering alcoholic, but he still likes to go out with his friends. Yikes, hot take.
Ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that. There's nothing wrong with drinking non-alcoholic beer, so...
Yes, that is true. I do it when I want to slow myself down, but I still want to spend money.
But I still hate having money.
Right. It actually is a pretty good hack. Like, brewery hacks, if a place has non-alcoholics and you just slow yourself down by every other drink, you just order a non-alcoholic beer. Yeah. It gets you through the day. It's a lifesaver. So, I am going to talk a little bit shit, though, because, you know, you're just fucking drink water. Well, don't spend money. Drink water.
Everybody should drink water. Whoever's listening to this right now, Carl, take a sip of your water. If you don't have water near you, what the fuck is wrong with you? You should have water near you all the time. Beer's
90% water. Just drink a normal beer, too.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Sick. Down with Untapped Step. And hot takes.
All right. We can move on to the first main then. So we've got maybe, what is that? About 10 cards spoiled from... I always just want to call it Mom.
Yeah, Mom?
From March of the Machine. So, actually, you know what? What's your favorite of these?
I mean, I'll tell you my second favorite.
Oh, okay.
Because it should be obvious what my first favorite is.
I think I know what your first
I'll tell you my first favorite. My first favorite is Yargle and Multani.
Yeah.
It is 3 colorless, 2 black pips, and a forest, green pip. Insane mana cost. For an 18/6 with no abilities, and I fucking love it. And it's a frog spirit elemental. Oh, the flavor text? Oh, because it's Yargle. It's a Yargle mutation, so it has to have a wall of flavor text. Flavor text reads as this. I've heard much about you from my daughter, Multani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. Ribbit, replied Yargle.
I love that it ends with Ribbit.
Yeah!
Oh.
Awesome. So, obviously my favorite. He is a rare this time. He's not an uncommon.
He is. Yeah.
I think he was uncommon before. Honestly, I think my second favorite, and I'm not just because it's a frog, because it's actually pretty fucking good, is Thalion the Gitrog monster.
Yeah.
Do you have that one pulled up, or do you want me to read it?
I have it. So, costs 1 green, 1 black, 1 white, and 1 colorless. For legendary creature, human frog horror. Great. Love that creature type already. It's a 4/4, first strike, and death touch. You may play an additional land on each of your turns, which also, can I just say, first strike and death touch, I hate that combo already.
It's so good. It is so good.
So good.
Nurkana Cutthroat from
oh, yeah.
Rise of the Eldrazi was one of those level up cards, and it came with Death Touch, and you could level it up and it'd give it First Strike and Death Touch, and it was just a common, and that is like a fucking crazy combo. Yeah. Because the creature dies before it can even hit.
Yeah.
It's a murder machine. Anyway.
I mean, you've got like the new Glissa. Well, the old Glissa did it too, but yeah, it's fucking
murder.
Great. Murder. So you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Wow, that's rude. And whenever Thalia and the Gitrog monster attacks, sacrifice a creature or land, then draw a card. Which, like, that's just Gitrog, but better.
It's even better. It's even better because you have more options.
Yeah. You don't have to sack a land.
No. And it's in black and white now, and green. So black and white aristocrats, definitely already a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Green and white care so much about making stupid dummy tokens. Like, this is a land fixer. Like, and it's just like, it's so good.
I mean, you have ramp in green, you have removal in black, you have some removal in white, but like...
I mean, they focus so much on getting card draw up to snuff with white. You've always had card draw at a cost outside of mana. It's always been a life cost, but like with black, I mean, green has fucking everything.
Green has everything.
Literally, favorite child.
Yeah. I will say, in terms of removal, black has a lot of like destroy, and white has a lot of exile effects. So like they just really will work well together, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to beat. I think it's very, very good.
I think it's really fucking good.
Especially Commander. I think this will see some good CEDH play. And the mana cost isn't great. It's not. I mean, you're getting a lot and it's only 4, but because it's one of each pip, that's the only challenge. But it's really not that hard to fucking do.
Yeah, especially in Commander. I mean, there's so much to help you fix your mana. I don't think it would be a problem getting this out turn 2 or 3. You could probably do it.
Right. Yeah. The only real downside is you want that. The nice thing about Gitrog is it triggered at upkeep, so you didn't have to swing with it. And with this, you do have to swing. But that's why they gave it First Strike and Death Touch.
Yes.
So exactly. It's not. The idea is it's not going to fucking die.
And the converted mana cost of this is less.
Yes.
Like,
yep.
Holy shit. I
mean, old Gitrog was bigger, I think. I think he had a bigger booty. He was like...
Yeah, he did. He was a 6
toughness, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But, like... if you're running Thalia in the Gitrog monster, you're still going to be running the Gitrog monster in your deck, I'm pretty sure. And then you sack 2 lands and draw 3 cards. Like, that's just going to be a really good combo.
Yep. And, I mean, it's awesome. Could you imagine how fucking mean this card would be in red if it had red in it and you had extra combat steps? You would just be fucking swinging away with Murder Frog. Okay. Frog Rider!
It would be absolutely ridiculous, for sure.
Man. You could almost make a Frog Rider deck. You just need...
Oh my god.
What? Blue.
Tatsunari and... Oh, no, you can't run Tatsunari because it has blue, doesn't it?
Right. You just need to... Okay, maybe I'll make a Frog Rider deck. Cut this. We'll talk about it later.
Cut this.
I have to figure out how to make it work.
So, yeah, the legendary creatures that they've shown, I love all of them already. Galta and Mavrin, or is it Mavrin? I don't know.
Probably Mavrin.
Legendary dinosaur vampire? Fuck yeah. It's, yeah.
That's, I know. It's just cool. It's so fucking cool.
It's awesome. 2 white, 2 green, and 3 for a 12/12. Fuck. With trample. Whenever you attack, choose one. Create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures, so not including Galta and Mavrin, which is fair, but if you're playing dinosaurs, you probably have a bunch of big creatures. And then the other one is create X11 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. That's pretty good.
So, because of how it's phrased, do you have to swing with this to get those, or is it just when you attack?
Oh my god, you're right.
Because it says whenever you attack.
Think of that.
Yeah.
So Galta doesn't even have to attack. So that means... Oh my god, I was thinking about it like as an attack trigger on Galta and Mavrin, but
no.
If you attack with anything and don't attack with Galta, you'll get a 12-12 or 12-1-1s. You could swing with a 1-1.
Yeah.
No, wait, other attacking creatures. Wait.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, okay, never mind.
The idea is that you want to swing with a big scary that isn't... I mean, you of course you want to swing with a 12-12 with trample. Like, of course you fucking want to do that. But you don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to swing your 12-12 with trample into somebody's fucking frog rider with first strike and death touch.
Right. Yeah. You will swing your fucking 10-10 Altasaur instead.
Yeah, or you'll swing your fucking 9 vampires that have lifelink that you just generated. And you also have Mondrak out, so you fucking made double those counters, because that's a thing that can happen now, and it'll be in standard.
Yep. Oh my god, that's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or you'll swing with your other Galta.
Right.
Your other 12-12. Yeah, I fucking... It's great. That's just great. I don't think that it'll be a good commander, because I think if you're going to do dinosaurs, you're going to have red, green, and white.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
It's definitely going to be in the 99. It's a good fucking card.
Yeah, and that's even better in the 99 with red, green, and white. And if you wanted to have extra combat steps with anything, then now you're fucking swinging twice, and that's going to trigger Galta twice.
And it triggers the turn it comes down. Like,
yep,
I think that's
because
just
you don't have to attack
ridiculous.
with him. Yeah, or them.
Oh, insane.
So good. So good. Yeah, I mean, these cards look like power. And obviously these are the ones that are just getting spoiled, so these are not going to be the most powerful cards in the set. But...
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because they never, like... They'll give you one that's probably one of the better ones. Like, Gitrog is probably going to be one of the better ones in this set, but it's not going to be the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got Drana and Linvala. I like that they're doing all of the, like, unlikely team-ups, you know? I think that's really cool.
It's super cool, and it's... You know, this is... This is like the Avengers moment in Magic, where it's like
it is.
We've been wanting to see team-ups like this for forever, so it is nice to kind of get that from Wizards of the Coast, you know? I feel like we have done less bitching on this podcast about Wizards of the Coast recently because we're getting more of what we want to see. I am still conscious that they are fucking making way too much shit, but
there were, I think, 5 different printings of Elish Norn Mommy Machine.
Yep.
So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 different arts, and then if you include like the Phyrexian text and the fucking, what did they call that? Step Incomplete printing.
Yeah.
So
egregious.
So it's getting a little ridiculous. But let's focus on the fun things. We got some cool creatures coming out. Drana and Linvala. It's a black, 2 white, and 1 for, of course, legendary Vampire Angel. It's a 3/4 with flying and vigilance, and says activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. The worst part of Linvala. Cool, thanks. Drana and Linvala has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities. That sounds really fucking good.
Yep. It certainly does. It certainly fucking does. Sorry, I got really distracted because I'm looking on the Magic website, and they are showing the packaging for the commander decks they're making. And just from the art, I can tell that they made a red, green, blue gremlin legendary commander, and I think I'm in love. I don't know what it does, but I just see the picture. Anyway,
oh my god.
No, sounds. Oh my god, is fucking Ragavan seeing a reprint?
Ragavan is getting a reprint in the, what did they call it? I don't remember what they called the like
Multiverse Legends.
Set. Yeah,
Multiverse Legends.
There's, I guess, yeah, Multiverse Legends. And then they have like the Aftermath, which is like 50 cards. So, we'll get to that. But yes, Ragavan is getting a reprint. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that's reprinted in different borders. So like Atraxa is getting a reprint in the New Capenna special border.
Yep, see that.
Yeah.
A way to make money.
Right. Yeah.
Off of the same IP.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much.
There it is. There it is. There's the hate.
It is.
Circling back.
Hey, let's pitch some more.
Anyway, card you talked about, dope.
Super cool.
Super cool.
Let's move on. Omnath Locus of All. It happened.
It happened. It's Wooburg technically, but it's even a better Wooburg because you can pay for Rexian mana in it.
You can pay. So it's 1 white, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 green. Of course, it's Omnath. And 1 black Phyrexian, so you can still pay 4 and 2 life, which is super great. Phyrexian Elemental, so Omnath has been completed now, is a 4/4 that says if you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. Awesome. That's like bringing back the original Omnath that green doesn't leave your mana pool, but it just becomes black. I love that.
Dope.
And then at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana in any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it in your hand. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. But basically, if you reveal a card that has 3 or more colored pips in the cost, well, if the top card has that, you may reveal it, and then you get a bunch of mana off of that, which is fucking awesome. And then you don't have to reveal it. You can also just put it into your hand. It's like an extra card draw every turn, so there's no downside.
Yep. And it's in your main phase. So if you have the original Joda on the field, you reveal something that costs 3 different colors of mana, you are 2 colors away from just casting whatever you want out of your hand.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this is going to be super fun as a commander. I really want to build something around this. Like, I already have a 5 color, what is it, like Colors Matter deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is really just an upgraded precon of Jared.
MOMbo, yeah.
But I almost want to just pull that apart and build this.
I think you could finally have your true everything costs 5 colors deck.
Yeah.
And they just keep adding Wooburg cost cards into sets, and I love it. Great to see.
Yeah. And it's another commander that can be Wooburg, and
right.
It's not fucking Morophon, so.
Yep. Or Child of Alara, Space Baby.
Space Baby.
But I know there has to be a companion card that goes with this, where you can have it as a companion if every card in your deck costs something mana-wise. You know what I mean? They all have to be
if none of them have the same mana pip, yeah, that's Catilda. No, not Catilda, a Kahira.
Yeah. Anyway, there's like it opens up all these
shit,
things.
Not Kahira. Fuck. What's it called? Anyway, yes, Gigantha.
Gigantha. Oh yeah, he is another Wooburg commander.
Yeah, because his companion. Yeah, oof. I thought I said that wrong. His companion thing is no card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbol in its mana cost.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, you could do that, and then you can tap him for Wooburg, which would be really good.
Seems pretty good. Yeah, very fun. I like it, and the flavors there. You know what I mean? I love when they make a good card that also is on point flavor wise. Holy shit.
Excuse you.
I'm really excited about Heliod, the Radiant Dawn.
Yes.
2 colorless, 2 white pips, legendary enchantment creature god. It is a 4/4. When Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. You can pay 3 colorless and Phyrexian blue to transform Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, activate only as a sorcery. The backside becomes Heliod, the Warped Eclipse. It is a Phyrexian god. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn, and it is a 4/6. It sounds like this card would be very good in my skip turn deck.
Yeah.
And also, who doesn't like casting all their spells as though they had flash? There's literally no fucking downside to it. And it's very easy to do. It's a flip that like you just pay a mana cost to do, and it's 3 colorless and 2 life.
Yeah, the barrier for that is really low.
Very low. And when it enters, so whatever, turn 4, you play it, it comes in, and you get to return an enchantment card to your hand, and then next turn, you flip it, and then you can shit out enchantments. So this would go very good in the newest Zur, because that's black, blue, white. Yeah. Seems pretty good.
I also like the flavor text. It's a Johnny saying it. Well, it says a Johnny Goldmane, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I guess he is still technically a Johnny Goldmane when he's completed, but I don't know if that means something else. I don't know. But he says on the front, complete the faith, complete the god, and then on the back it says complete the god, complete the plane.
The flavor.
Damn.
The flavor.
The flavor. Yeah, I kind of wonder if we're going to get more of the Theros gods. Oh, God.
In the set?
Yeah, or if it's just that. Like, I don't know.
They'll probably, I think if they'll probably drop at least 1 or 2 more, I think. I don't know if they'll do a bunch, and then it'll just be... It's like, with the Praetors, where it's kind of like they're like, here's a couple, and then here's a couple.
Yeah.
Blow it off.
I mean, they might do, like, the monocolored ones. Or maybe they'll do, like, 1 monocolored one and one multicolored one or something.
Yeah, I feel like with these flip or these meld cards, they always have, like, 3.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The kind of gimmicky things. I mean, although this isn't super gimmicky because it's actually functional.
Yeah.
Melding is good. It's just pretty gimmicky.
Yeah. Well, it's good until it, like, fucking gets exiled and then you lose everything.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, shit. Fuck.
Yeah. But I think that's about all I got for this.
All right. Jin Gitaxis.
Oh, yeah.
It's just Jin Gitaxis.
And he flips.
So he's 2 blue and 3 for a 5/5 with Ward 2, which is already really annoying. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. And then you can pay 1 blue and 3 to exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed. Activate it only as a sorcery, and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand, which is very like on brand for Jin-Gitaxias. If you remember the first one, Core Augur, that you drew 7 cards every turn, and then everyone else's hand size was reduced by 7. Ooh,
Yikes.
love that card. Yeah, it's really annoying, and I love that card. So then when he transforms, he's a saga. The first chapter is draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis. I probably should have said the name of it first. That's the name of it. Second chapter, return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands. So, oof. Hey, that's going into my Phyrexian deck.
Oof.
And then chapter 3, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. And then you exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield. So, of course, when it returns, it's Jin-Gitaxias. So it just loops like that. And so, obviously, the idea is you draw a bunch of cards, and then you just cast a bunch of shit, and no one can deal with it. Which I think is going to be pretty hard to pull off, but if you can, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I do like this flip mechanic with Jin. I almost wish it triggered on itself because it would make him more. It'd make him more likable for opponents. You being able to control the flip is good. I do like that it is at least conditional. It's not like Heliod where you just pay a cost and it fucking flips.
Yeah.
The return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands is awesome, especially with Omnath being a Wooburg Phyrexian commander option now. Yeah. I mean, Jin is always fucking mean.
Yeah, he's rude. He's an asshole. We all know this.
A rude asshole.
I'm ready for another beer. Are you ready for another beer?
Yes. I probably only going to have one more beer because this one is a fucking bottle.
Yeah.
But what do you got?
I have... okay, I'm kind of going away from the theme here, but I saw this and I couldn't not pick it up. Hobgoblin. From fucking wherever that's from. Hang on. I'll figure it out. Witchwood Brewery. In good old England. England. It's a what did they call it? Fucking Ruby? Ruby ale?
So it's like a brown ale.
Yeah,
oh, it's a brown ale? I bet if you held it up to the light, it would be red, though.
It's
red-ish, like a dark lager.
I'm drinking it out of the can. I don't have a glass, so...
Peasant.
Yeah. I don't own any glasses. That's for the rich. Yeah, so while I'm taking my first sip of that, what do you got?
I have Rakefire Doublewood from Town Brewing. Shout out.
Okay, yeah, I understand why you're only doing one more after that.
Regular mention on this podcast.
Yes.
It's from 2021. It is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. This one is a combo beer because it is the double wood variant. So it was aged in 2 types of wood. It was aged in bourbon barrels, and then there were Amberana wood spirals added. Amberana wood is like a Brazilian wood. Super flavorful. It naturally packs like this crazy graham cracker cinnamony taste to it. So all the flavors from this beer are just from the wood, from the barrel aging. So very excited. Had it before, always good. What do you think of your first taste of the
Hobgoblin? Yeah, it's pretty good. I would buy it again. It is a red ale, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, not much else to say really. It's pretty good.
Doesn't like a red ale. It sounds like an English beer. I like English beer.
Yeah.
It's just beer that's good. Mine is awesome. Super flavorful. A lot of that cinnamon in there, but it's not cinnamon, it's just wood. And then when you think about that, it's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sturdy. She's a sturdy birdie, so it's sitting at 11.1%, and it's a 500 milliliter bottle, so I'm going to nurse this. Or not. Yeah. Either way, this is the last beer I'm having tonight.
Yeah. Oof.
Now we're going to go to our next Untapped step, because it is our second turn. I'm telling you it is, even though we did this in the middle of the main phase. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is our podcast. We can do what we want. Jack, what do you got for your Untapped?
I have my first one here from David McCarthy. He says, deep red with off-white head. That's like every other beer. Spice and hedgerow hop nose with rich toast raisiny malt backbone. Rich dark cooked fruit, plums, and raisins with spicy sweet finish. Rich sweetness is slightly cloying and sticky on the lips, but otherwise very nice. 3.5 stars. So, yes, of course it has an off-white head. It's beer. I don't think I've ever seen a beer that has a pure white head. That would be weird. And then he just says a bunch of shit about fruit. And it doesn't... I don't taste any fruit on this. It just tastes like kind of a little malty, I guess.
Yeah. I know dates and like raisins is a thing that people use to describe. What's the ABV on that beer?
4.5 maybe.
I know it's like a typical flavor description for a malty beer. Usually I see it in beers that are like higher ABV. Usually see people describe like dates or raisins in strong ales or Belgian quads or something. Yeah. It's just
I could see that. But I don't think this is... It says this guy is saying it's really sweet. I don't think it's really that sweet. I mean, it's malty because it's a red ale, but it's not like overly sweet. So
it's probably sweet if you only drink IPAs.
Ah, yes, that's a good point.
If he's just crushing fucking West Coasts or Sierra Nevada Pale Ales, and then he has that, it's probably going to taste sweet.
Yeah. And I mostly picked that because of the first line, deep red with off-white head. Yeah, no shit. My second and last review is from James Schleihauf. Great name. He gave it 0.75 stars and just said, oh. That's all. Just, oh. Okay. I would also like to point out that he has another review on his profile that says, I drank this as I watched Elton John kill a man.
What? Has Elton John killed a man?
I think it was in a movie or something.
Oh, he must be talking about Kingsman. Because the kid that played Elton John was in Kingsman. And he kills people in that. His name's Taron Egerton. Or unless I made his last name up. His first name is Nonsense. There you go.
Isn't it Egerton? I don't think I would say Egerton.
Egerton is Joel I'd fucking... His name's Eggsy in those movies, so I don't really care, because that's a horrible name.
Yeah, on purpose, it's a horrible name. But those are great movies. You should watch them.
Great movies. They are good. Stop listening to this podcast. Go watch that movie.
Stop listening to this fucking thing. Yeah. And start at the beginning on the podcast again.
Just mute us, but keep playing us, because we want to capture your demographic.
That's all I've got. So what do you have for the Untapped stuff?
Cool. My first one... holy shit. It's already happening. It's happening. Brittany C. is checking this in from Kits Trackside and Crafts. our brewer will literally not shut up about that place. Apparently, it's like the best bottle shop in North Carolina. So if you're in North Carolina, go check out Kit's Trackside Crafts. It is endorsed by our head brewer. It's to the point where I think he's secretly sponsored by them. He literally can't go 2 hours without bringing this place up.
I don't think he's ever mentioned them to me.
No, just casually mention it, and he will talk to you and try and get you to sign up for their rewards program.
Oh my
That's
God.
a joke. I don't think they have a rewards program, but anyway. Brittany C. gave this 4.25 stars. She had it on draft. Says, tastes like birthday cake, and it's my birthday.
Hell yeah.
So, happy belated birthday to Brittany C. That's all I really wanted to say.
Brittany.
Yeah, and I liked how she spelled like my as M-U-H. My birthday.
It's my birthday. Hell yeah.
The next one is from Keith C. He checked us in at the most insane location I think I've seen to date. It is at Kramer House Zwe. So it is Kramer, Cramer Haus, but the U has the two little dots above it. Capital Z, lowercase WEI. So whatever the fuck any of that means. Kramer House Zwe gave it 4 stars. He had it in a crowler, which doesn't make sense because these are sold in bottles. And then he just says, good beer, crappy weather, crappy football so far. And it was toasted by some dude named Zeddy Fitz, and I think I love that name.
No,
and
nice.
That's it. I just like this review. It's good beer,
right.
crappy weather, crappy football.
Yeah, it is a good beer. And it is crappy football.
Tells a story. Yeah, if you watched a North Carolina football game, then there's chances are that it was a shitty game.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. That's all I got. Pretty tame this time.
All right. Well, shall we move on then to our Power 9 combos?
Yes, Power 9. It's just a list of fucking 9 things that we like that have to do with whatever the fuck we talk about. I don't know why I felt the need to describe this, but if you listened to our last episode, and I know you did, our one listener, Bryson, yeah, it's a new thing we're doing. So, Power 9, we're talking about MOMbo combos, our favorite combos that include new cards from LLB1.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start us off here. These are not in any particular order, but we're going to be talking about Phyrexian Vindicator and Guilty Conscious combo. So, Phyrexian Vindicator, it is from LLB1. It is 4 white pips for a 5/5 with flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent the damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any other target. Guilty Conscious. It's a 1-drop enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscious deals that much damage to enchanted creature. So, slap this on Phyrexian Vindicator. It either attacks or something hits it, and it is worth pointing out that Phyrexian Vindicator triggers off of damage, not just combat damage. So,
yeah,
someone shoots it with a lightning bolt.
Vindicator.
Right. If you're playing Boros, you bolt it. You can swing because Guilty Conscious triggers off of it doing damage. Let's just go with Phyrexian Vindicator attacks. It hits literally anything. Does damage, so Guilty Conscious sees that, says, you dealt damage, you take that much damage. Phyrexian Vindicator is like, I took damage, I'm going to prevent it, and instead I'm going to deal that much damage. Oh, and then Guilty Conscious is like, you're dealing damage, well, now you take damage. And you see where this is going. Bang, bang, boom. It is a 2-piece infinite damage combo. And because it's any target, you can target one opponent, target the next opponent, target the next opponent, they're dead. Very fucking easy to do. You could even just do it in an all-white deck, because these are 2 white cards, and white has cards that let you look for enchantments or pull enchantments out of the graveyard. So you want to do this in Vintage? Great. You want to do it in Commander, which is worth note. We're going to be talking about these combos as if they are in a Commander deck. So great in Commander. Just a fucking very easy infinite combo to pull off.
Yeah, and you can do it in the same turn for 6 mana.
Yeah.
Actually, for 5 mana, technically, if you somehow get damage on the Vindicator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's got to be a way to do that. There's a lot of ways to do that. I'm not going to try and tell you what they are, but there's very easy ways to do that. I'm pretty sure there's a desert land that you can tap and ping something for 1 damage, so you could just fucking ping your Vindicator and set it all off. This is a combo that I've been running in different forms for a while now. I have a Stuffy Doll, Brash Taunter, fucking Boros Reckoner deck that this is like a very easy win con in. So Rexian Vindicator is just an easy include for me in that.
Yes, good card.
Yep. So that's what we're starting off with. That's our number 1. Jack, you got the next one.
All right. My first combo is All Will Be One. The card. Just that card. Because it can combo with so many fucking things in just a 2-card combo. Like, I should probably read off All Will Be One first.
We'll never stop doing that. We'll just talk about a card like you know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we'll fucking Google
happening.
it. And then start over the episode and listen to it again. All Will Be One. 2 red and 3 for an enchantment that says whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, All Will Be One deals that much damage to target opponent, creature, and opponent controls, or planeswalker and opponent controls. So if you have something like Quest for Pure Flame that just costs 1 red for an enchantment that says whenever a source you control deals damage to an opponent, you may put a quest counter on Quest for Pure Flame. I don't care about the rest of it, but I'll read it. Remove 4 quest counters from Quest for Pure Flame and sacrifice it. If any source you control will deal damage to a creature or player this turn, it deals double that damage to that creature or player instead, which really just accelerates the infinite combo. But if you have All Will Be One and Quest for Pure Flame out and you deal any amount of damage, to a player. Oh no. You don't necessarily have to deal damage. If you can get a counter on something, All Will Be One triggers and you deal damage, and then Quest for Pure Flame triggers and you put a counter on it. That triggers All Will Be One and you deal damage, and that just goes back and forth. And it's just infinite combos. That's mono red. So you can do that in a mono red deck.
Seems pretty good.
You could do that with so many cards. The Red Terror, which I almost hesitate to mention because it's from the fucking Warhammer decks. War Elemental, Talon of Pain, Body of Research, Night Dealings, Eternity Vessel. I'm not going to read all of those out, but those are just the cards that you can... Just a 2-card combo with that. It's insane. I've heard All Will Be One is a good card.
And a good set. Buy a single All Be One. Buy a fucking 2 boxes of All Be One set.
Yeah. So what do you got for your next one?
Next one, 3-piece combo with a side of fucking home fries. It is Jace Cunning Castaway plus Ickermoon Gauntlet plus Tekuthal, whatever the fuck Dominus that is. I didn't write what Dominus it was. It's the blue Dominus. It's Tekuthal Inquiry Dominus.
Inquiry Dominus.
Inquiry. Yes. So, going through the line here. Jace, Cunning Castaway. 1 colorless, 2 blue. It is worth mentioning that all this combo can be done in mono blue. 1 1 colorless, 2 blue for Planeswalker Jace. Comes in with 3 loyalty. You can +1 him whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player. This turn, draw a card, then discard a card. -2, create a 2/2 blue illusion creature token with when this creature becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it. And -5, create 2 tokens that are copies of Jace, Cunning Castaway, except they're not legendary. This is the ability we care about for this combo.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow, that Planeswalker seems not that great.
Yes, it was really never that great until this. Tekuthal, Inquiry Dominus. This is the card from the new set that we like. 2 colorless, 2 blue pips, 3/5, legendary creature, Phyrexian Horror with flying. If you would proliferate twice instead. You can pay 1 colorless and 2 blue Phyrexian mana. Remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers you control. Put an indestructible counter on Tekuthal. We care about the proliferate twice for the combo. And Ickermoon Gauntlet, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Planeswalkers you control have have the ability 0 to proliferate and -12 loyalty. Take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent.
Whoa.
So, you don't even have to do this. I have it listed. Idea is you have Ickermoon Gauntlet and the Dominus out. And then you could swing with something that proliferates. So you could swing with Thrumming Bird, which is mono blue. It's 1 colorless and a blue. Whenever it deals combat damage, proliferate. It has flying and it's a 1/1. You can swing with that, proliferate, or you can just cast literally any non-creature spell. You could 0-drop a Mox Amber, and that will trigger Ickermoon Gauntlet. So Ickermoon Gauntlet's out, Dominus is out, you cast Jace, Cunning Castaway, and you 0-drop in your Mox Amber. Triggers Ickermoon Gauntlet. But that's not proliferating. Because it doesn't say proliferate.
No, but you get one on that guy.
You what?
What? You don't have to cast something.
No. Okay, we'll just go with the Thrumming Bird example. You proliferate. You deal combat damage, so main phase, cast Jace, go to combat, hit with Thrumming Bird, it proliferates. You get to proliferate twice because of the Dominus, so you put 2 loyalty counters on Jace. You -5 Jace, make 2 copies of him. And then because of Ickermoon Gauntlet, you use one of those copies to proliferate with its -0. It's just 0 ability. Your Dominus lets you proliferate twice, so then you use your other Jace copy to ultimate, and you can just do that infinitely. You always use 1 copy to proliferate, the other to make more Jaces.
Infinite Jaces.
Infinite Jaces. And then you have infinite Jaces now. That's great. Let's say you just go to your next turn. Let's say I make 900 of those. Goes to the opponent's next turn, comes back to you. You have now way too many Jaces. Like, just a lot of Jaces. If you can figure out a way to proliferate a couple times, or even let's say you just sling a bunch of spells. And
do you have to proliferate?
What do you mean?
Because on one of the copies you are using to proliferate, right?
Yeah.
And then you make another copy that proliferates, so that last one will get counters too.
Yes. Yeah.
Too. So they'll all have a bunch of loyalty counters on them.
Yes, they would all have. There would be one of those 2 copies would always have essentially infinite loyalty counters. So then you just if you go to your next turn, you can -12 using the Ickermoon Gauntlet ability, and you can take infinite extra turns.
Yeah.
Which seems pretty good. I don't know.
I think that's pretty good. Sure.
And you can do it in mono blue. It doesn't need to be a color combination. There's probably faster ways to do it in Dimir, especially with the huge proliferate upgrade that Dimir has gotten from this set.
Yeah.
But seems pretty fucking good to me.
Yes. Taking an infinite number, well, near infinite number of extra turns is pretty good. Yeah. Until you draw yourself out.
Well, if you can't figure out a way to kill someone when they literally don't play, solitaire. Yeah, when you're playing solitaire, then you already have one Jason there. You might as well have the other ones that just make them mill until they die.
Yeah, true.
And they have a Kozilek in, and then you just hate yourself, and you just fucking. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the combo. Bing, bang, boom, infinite Jaces, which is like the most Jace thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I also like that canonically Jace Cunning Castaway, like the story for him is that he forgot how to be a planeswalker.
Really?
Yeah, he forgot that he was a planeswalker or whatever.
Jace is really funny. Jace has mad child actor vibes where
oh my god.
He was forced to be a planeswalker from the start. And then, he had this, acting out phase, and then he's been trying to find himself ever since, and he's, he tried to do the rebrand as Space Bellerin, and nobody was buying it, and it's just... Oh, shit.
Yeah. Jace sucks, though. I'm glad he got completed.
Yeah, fuck that dude. Cunning Castaway. Cunning Castaway, he just forgot where he was. He went, huh?
What? Oh.
Jace, you're not Errol Flynn. You are, in fact, a planeswalker. Bo?
Oh. Anyway, moving on. Here's a combo. It's not an infinite combo, but it is fun. With Mondrak, Glory Dominacy, which if you are listening to this, I feel like you probably play Magic, and if you play Magic, you know this card already, but I'll read it out. 2 white and 2 for 4/4. It says if one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Already really good. And then you can pay 1 and 2 Phyrexian white to sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on Mondrak. So the card that it combos with is Radadrabic of Urborg. He costs a black, a white, and 2 for a 3/3 legendary zombie wizard. He has Vigilance and Ward 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. That's not the part we care about. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So here's what you do. You play Mondrak, you play Radadrabic, you have a way to copy, or if you are in a 60-card format, you play another Radadrabic. So then you have 2 Radadrabics, and one of them has to die. So one of them dies, the other Radadrabic triggers and creates 2 tokens that are copies of Radadrabics. You may see where this is going already. If you're in black, you probably have ways to kill creatures, so you kill Mondrak, Radadrabic triggers 3 times because you have 3 of them. So the first Mondrak comes out, and that's it. You have 1 token copy of Mondrak. Then another one comes out, another trigger resolves, and you get 2 Mondraks. But you don't just get 2 Mondraks, because Radadrabic is copying all of those. It just gets ridiculously huge, and I think you can make 200 something Mondraks in 1 turn.
Yikes.
Because Mondrak is copying all the tokens and Radadrabic is making copies of legendaries. It's just ridiculous.
Seems pretty mean.
Yeah. And then you just make a token of anything and make 20 million of them.
Yikes.
I think it seems pretty fun.
Well, That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I just liked that one. It's not like a instant game winning combo or anything, but
yeah,
it's fun.
I mean, game winning combos are cool, but they do get a little old,
Yeah, I mean, we all sit down at the table to play Magic, and then someone does some shit that just wins them the game, and I say this fully understanding that I'm the guy with a CEDH fucking Crick deck.
Yeah.
But
the only reason it's irritating is because we want to be that guy. We all want to be that guy. And you can see, like, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing this game, you can literally see the glee in someone's face when they're fucking doing the one thing that they wanted to do.
Yes. That's like, so great.
In that moment, we all become the exact same kind of nerd. And you never feel like you're that guy until, I don't know. The only way to be sure is if somebody filmed you and you'd be like, oh my God, I am that nerd.
Oh my God, oh no.
It's me. I'm doing the thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we play this game. We're all that person at one point. And if you're not, you don't like Magic. So
yeah. I'm that person all the time because I played my deck that fucking puts everything into the command zone, and people literally got up and walked away while I was doing my shit because they didn't care. I was like, well,
yeah, I'm still doing it. I'll be here when you're back.
This is for me, not for you.
It is happening. We all acknowledge it. Whether you leave or not, you know it's happening. That's all that matters.
But yeah, I think that's pretty fun. What's the next one?
Next one is another 3-piece, and we're Commander players. We're casual Commander players. I'm all about the fucking multi-piece setup.
Hell yeah.
So, this is Archfiend of Dross plus Price of Betrayal, and then plus, I have Harmless Offering listed, but anything that literally gets Archfiend of Dross to an opponent. So, start off. Archfiend of Dross, 2 colorless, 2 black pips, for a 6/6 with flying. Pretty fucking good, but hold on.
Hang on a second. Don't get too
excited. Archfiend of Dross enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Archfiend of Dross. Then, if it has Noil, oil coming, bubble and boil. Oh, man. Of course you're a mighty, mighty boss tones fucking nerd. Then if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life. We don't care about that. We can care about the oil counter thing. So that is Archfiend of Dross. The other card I had, which I am buying time because I already forgot what it was called. Like, I didn't come up with this. Price of Betrayal.
Oh boy.
Price of Betrayal says remove up to 5 counters from target permanent. Essentially, it's like creature or planeswalker. Remove up to 5 counters from target artifact, creature, planeswalker, or opponent for 1 black. It's a sorcery. And then Harmless Offering. 2 colorless and a red pip. Target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. Oh. Or, yeah, So essentially, play Archfiend of Dross, play Betrayal, remove all the oil counters from it, and then you gotta get it to someone. So, it is kind of expensive. It could be a 2-turn combo piece. If you don't have the mana for it, you could turn for Archfiend of Dross. It can sit out a turn. It doesn't really matter. Sits there, and it just is a 6/6 with flying. Seems pretty good. Then next turn, because people probably aren't going to see this coming, they're thinking that you have stuff that's going to proliferate oil counters, especially if you're playing within this set, since proliferate is such a thing. Next turn, you play I keep fucking forgetting the name of this card. Price of Betrayal. And then you play your Harmless Offering, or I think, honestly, the better card, and it would change the color combo. So Price of Betrayal being red, that would have to be a Rakdos combo. This would be a Dimir combo. It is Wrong Turn. It is 2 colorless and 1 blue for an instant. Target opponent gains control of target creature. Seems pretty fucking good to me. You just give them Archery Nadras after you remove all the counters. So you could even play it in Grixis, and then you have more options because there are cards like Switcheroo. That's a sorcery. It's 4 colorless and 1 blue pip. Exchange control of 2 target creatures. Either way, the idea is you remove all the oil counters, you give it to someone. If you're playing in a 4-player commander game, you give it to the next person. So it triggers at their upkeep, and they lose the game. That's it. Long-winded, bing, bang, boom, you lost. Not even infinite damage. You just lost. You fucking lost the game.
Yeah, you fucking nerd.
Surprisingly easy to do. You could just do it in Rakdos, do it in Dimir, do it in Grixis. It seems to really fit in Grixis because Grixis is all about chaos. We'll talk about that in the second main phase. That's it. What's yours?
Me. My next combo is Sulfum, Mayhem Dominus, and Heartless Hidetsugu. So Heartless Hidetsugu is already a pretty mean card because it's 2 red and 3 for 4/3 Ogre Shaman. And he says tap, and Heartless Hidetsugu deals damage to each player equal to half that player's life total rounded down. Fuck. That's a lot of damage. And then Sulfum, Mayhem Dominusy, says it's 2 red and 2 for 5/4. That says, oh my god, what the fuck? Now that's really power creep. That's the Hidetsugu costs 5 and is a 4/3. Sulfum costs 4 and is a 5/4.
Yikes.
Although he is a mythic. Anyway, it says if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or opponent instead. And then you can make it indestructible. We don't care about that. So if you just have Sulfum out and activate Heartless Hidetsugu, it just kills everyone.
It does. It puts him at 1 life because it's rounded down. Unless they're all at 40. Yeah.
If they have an even life total, they lose.
Yes, if it's odd, it's at 1. Which,
yeah.
Oh darn, you could run this in a mono red deck, 1 life.
Oh no, let me bolt you.
Oh, but Heartless Hidetsugu doesn't have haste. You're in mono red. Shut up.
Yeah, you already have fucking anger in the graveyard.
Literally anything. Tuk Fort, which is just a fucking like 0/2 wall that gives all your creatures haste.
Yeah. So that's mean. What the fuck, wizards?
Pretty mean. Seems very mean. It seems like Adam, our buddy, shouldn't listen to this because he already has
don't
red Dominus deck, and
don't listen.
So
Adam, stop listening. Go away. God, no, he's gonna put this in there. And he did. He like discarded Anger turn 1 yesterday.
Disgusting.
I just have to marinate on this.
Yeah, surprise, thrill possibility when you discard Anger is pretty fucking good.
It's a good fucking card.
When you can do that at instant speed.
Yeah.
Instant speed, 2 mana, you draw 2 cards, and all your creatures have haste. That seems really good.
Wait a minute. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work.
But it can.
Yeah. Mean as fuck. What's the next
Super
one?
mean. My next one
Before
is
I start
another.
crying.
Next one is another Dominus. Surprise! The Dominuses are pretty fucking good.
They're
weird. It is. Oh my god! I'm reading it and I still want to say Krivnod. It is Drivnod, Carnage Dominus, plus Wormcoil Engine plus Saw Half. So this is a combo we have already talked about on this podcast. Saw in half plus Worm Coil Engine is like the dream. Everyone wants to do this.
Hell yeah.
It is Worm Coil Engine. Worm Coil Engine is a 6-drop artifact creature worm. 6 colorless for a 6/6 Death Touch lifelink. When Worm Coil Engine dies, create a 3/3 colorless worm artifact creature token with Death Touch and a 3/3 colorless worm artifact creature token with lifelink. Really good on its own. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could put this... It's just one of those cards that's good, and it can kind of just go in anything. Pretty fucking good card. Saw in half. This is from Unfinity. It is a Eternal Legal card. 2 colorless, 1 black mana. Destroy target creature. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens that are copies of that creature, except their base power is half that creature's power, and their base toughness is half that creature's toughness, rounded up each time. So, on its own, Worm Coil Engine plus Saw in half, pretty good combo. You cut Worm Coil Engine in half, you get 2 3/3 copies of original Worm Coil Engine, and then you also get a 3/3 with Death Touch and a 3/3 with lifelink. Add Drivnod to the mix. Drivnod says, let's say what he is. Drivnod, Carnage, Dominus. 3 colorless, 2 black pips. He is the black Dominus. For an 8/3, hilarious. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Horror. It's like he's basically angrier Yargle. It's like, what if we made Yargle better?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the black thing, like glass cannons.
And it's so funny because it's like when they have these creatures with this unbalanced power toughness, I don't know if you've noticed, but they always give them those prison bodies where they're like really top heavy and it has no legs. So Drivnod is like all upper body, 0 legs.
He literally does not have legs.
He's... He doesn't. I keep saying it like he has legs. He doesn't have any. He's just top.
Oh, he's a top, all right.
Dude, he's a power top because his ability says if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control the trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Then you can pay 2 black Phyrexian mana, exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard, put an indestructible counter on Drivnod. So, Drivnod's out. Worm Coil Engine's out. You saw Worm Coil Engine in half. You then get 2 3/3 worms with Death Touch, 2 3/3 worms with lifelink, and then I think you get... Do you get 4 copies?
No.
Of worm? You just get 2. But because it says if that creature dies this way, but it's not a permanent. It's an instant. Yes.
It's not a triggered ability of a permanent. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, you get 4 3/3 worms, 2 with Death Touch, 2 with lifelink, and then you get your 2 3/3 copies of Worm Coil Engine. And then when those die, you get another 4 worms. So you have a worm army at your disposal. Yeah. You can do this all in mono black. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I would say probably.
Yeah, not infinite, just fun. It's just like those Magic interactions that we all want to do, where it's like once it gets time to do it. And I will say that's something that I like about these longer Wombo combos, where it's like it almost takes another turn. You have to wait that turn, or you just like happen to draw Saw in half and you have these 2 cards out, and you're just like, fuck yes. It's all coming together. Like, it's happening. You're like, you're just like, it's really happening. It's really happening. Yeah, just fun. And good. Nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to play against that. Fuck that.
Yeah. No, exactly. Fuck that. That shit sucks.
Yeah. That's it. That's my combo.
Hey there, listener Daryl. This is Jack, Editor Jack, chiming in here to say that this combo actually doesn't work because when Worm Coil Engine dies, then it triggers and it's no longer on the battlefield, so it actually won't trigger Drivnod to copy that. So sorry about that. Just wanted to interject, say that actually doesn't work. But now we'll get back to the pod.
You got the next two, so what you got?
I have my next one, Conduit of Worlds. That's a fun new card. Costs 2 green and 2 for an artifact. You may play lands from your graveyard, so it's already just like Crucible of Worlds, although it's green, so you have to have green. And then you can tap it, choose target non-land permanent in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And then you combo that with Second Chance, which is a blue and 2 for an enchantment. It says during your upkeep, if you have 5 life or less, sacrifice Second Chance and take an extra turn after this one. So if you have 5 life or less, you can sack Second Chance on your turn, return it with Conduit of Worlds, and then take your extra turn and just keep sacking it and take an infinite number of turns. You can't cast anything else, but you can take infinite turns.
Seems pretty good. For drawing yourself out and dying.
Yeah. So I guess the reasonable thing would be to like combo that with something like the Laboratory Maniac. So if you would draw a card, if your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. But come on, it's funny to just take extra turns with no win con.
Right. And it's even funnier if you want to be mean about it and you just actually take your infinite extra turns and maybe your opponent will concede before you draw yourself out.
Yeah, if you like actually go through them and you what do I want to do? I think I'll activate Conduit of Worlds. What do I want to return? Like just be a real asshole about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
funny.
you could there are blue win cons, so like you could on one of your last extra turns play Thassa's Oracle or something. So I guess it has a place. I just really think fucking taking infinite turns with no win con is hilarious.
Yeah. It's super funny. It'd be funny exactly one time, and then you do it to someone again, and they just punch you out.
Right,
and you're like, yeah, I kind of earned that.
Leaving.
Judge?
But that's it. That's pretty much all there is for that. Let's move on.
Cool.
We have one more, our last combo. We made it. Staff of Completion. I already like that card, which if you listen to the last episode, you'll know that. So go listen to that again. If you did listen to it, do it again.
I had to listen to it multiple times. Jack did, because he's the only one that edits. I'm just the fucking talent.
Staff of Completion, Cryptic Trilobite, and Spike Feeder. So, Staff of Completion, for those that need a reminder, 3 colorless for an artifact. It says you can tap, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. Tap and pay 2 life to add 1 mana of any color. Tap and pay 3 life to proliferate. Tap and pay 4 life to draw a card. Or pay 5 mana to untap the staff. Cryptic Trilobite is XX, so 2 generic X's. Cryptic Trilobite enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Oh, yeah, it's a 0/0 too. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Cryptic Trilobite to add 2 colorless. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. And then you can pay 1 and tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then Spike Feeder is 2 green and 1 for 0/0. Enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. You can pay 2 to remove a +1/+1 counter on it and put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So, hey, that's already pretty fucking good.
Yep.
Then you can remove a +1/+1 counter from Spike Feeder to gain 2 life. So, essentially, you have all of them out on the battlefield. Cryptic Trilobite and Spike Feeder have to have counters on them. Well, they have to have counters to not die immediately, but anyway. So you pay 3 life with Staff of Completion to proliferate, and then activate Spike Feeder's pay 2 ability twice to gain 4 life. So you're up 1 life. And then you activate Cryptic Trilobite's first ability. Wait, that's not right. Yes, first ability. To remove a +1/+1 counter. To add 2 colorless. So you do that 3 times. So you have 6 colorless. And then you use 5 of that to untap Staff of Completion. So now you're up 1 life and 1 colorless mana. So then you do the whole thing again. Proliferate, remove counters from Spike Feeder, remove counters from Cryptic Trilobite, untap Staff of Completion, and you can gain infinite life and infinite colorless mana. Colorless mana is not as good as colored mana, though.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you have that in original Omnath and original mono green Omnath, that becomes green mana then, right?
Nope. Original Omnath just says that green mana doesn't leave your mana pool.
Shit. Well, new Omnath says unspent mana becomes black mana, right?
Yeah, so you could turn that all into black mana.
And then you could, I don't know, do something angry with all black mana. You could...
Yeah, I mean, with color... oh, God. I inhaled some water. With colorless mana, you
That's
could,
called
like...
drowning.
I'm drowning. You could play Walking Ballista and, like, win the game that way. So there are ways that you can still win.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, there's that artifact that says all unspent mana becomes colorless and, like, you don't lose it. Something, it's like Event Horizon. That's a movie, but I know it's got the word Horizon in it, and I'm not just making this
It's also
shit
a
up.
beer.
Oh, it is. It's a really good beer from Old Hickory.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Infinite colorless mana.
Still pretty
It's
good.
not. It's yeah. Infinite mana is pretty good in any capacity.
And that's it. That's all of our Power 9 combos with cards, new cards that came out in All Will Be One.
Yeah, Power 9 combos with a side of fucking hot mustard.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So, shall we move on to the second main?
Yeah, let's do it. Second main. Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
What you brewing?
Oh, shit. It was like, cut me off guard.
I know.
I'm brewing a Marin of Clan Neltoth deck. Which... So this is an Aristocrats deck. I've never made an Aristocrats deck before. I've always thought about it, but now's my chance. So Marin says, well, it's 1 green, 1 black, and 2 for 3/4. And says whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature in your graveyard. If that card's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. It's pretty fucking good for Aristocrats.
Yeah.
Oh, the shit that I killed just comes back? Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good. But I was actually thinking that I might replace that commander with Thalia and the Gitrog monster. Whoa, monster.
Ooh. Then you get an extra color combo in there, because right now you're just running Golgari.
But that's one that I'll have to brew some more. I don't know about that yet.
Yes.
So the reason that I started building this is because I pulled Cocoa Puffs, the Evening Star, out of my Crick Mono Black deck, and just for the pod, Cocoa costs 2 black and 4 for a 5/5 with flying. That says whenever Kokusho dies, each opponent loses 5 life, and you gain life equal to the life lost this way.
It costs
really...
4 black, not 2 black. Or 2 colorless. It costs 4 colorless.
Did I say 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, whatever. 2 black and 4 colorless. Shut up. And yeah, that's a good card. So I didn't want to just put it into a box and never look at it again. So I was looking at other commanders that I could use that in, and Marin came up, and that's gonna be a really good commander for that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good in Drivnod as well if you just did mono black.
Yeah, so I could do mono black. I have Drivnod in my list for Marin too.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But with green, you just... I mean, besides Marin's ability of just getting shit back for free, there are some good things like, for example, Birthing Pod. Oh god.
Classic.
Birthing Pod is 1 green Phyrexian and 3 for an artifact that says you can pay 1 and a green Phyrexian, tap it, and sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card. Oh, that was the worst burp. Search for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost, and put that card onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. Which, I mean, we all know Birthing Pod is good, but that's just an example. So I could just fucking sack a 2-drop, get a 3-drop, sack the 3-drop, get a 4-drop, and keep doing that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Golgari Grave Recursion has been good for a long time.
Yeah. It's not a secret. Everybody knows that's what Golgari does.
Yeah.
And that's... Yeah, so any sort of fucking aristocrats shit that you can think of is pretty much in there.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have old Dick Dingers in here, but he's not that good in when you're returning stuff from the graveyard.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have old Dick Dingers in there. I don't have J-Rad Golgari Bitch Lord in here either.
No, but you do have J-Rad's orders.
I do.
Jared,
yes.
or it's literally spelled Jarad. So if your name is Jared, shout out to our one listener, Jared, who spells his name like this. There's no way on earth I'm going to call you Jared. I'm always going to call you J-Rad or Jarad.
I mean, it's probably Gerard, but, you know, whatever. J-Rad.
No, it's J-Rad. Gerard Golgari Lichlord. Okay, fine, whatever. J-Rad Golgari Bitchlord. Yeah.
Yeah, top tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll read Gerard's orders off. It's 2 colorless, and then Golgari, so black and green. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards and reveal them. Put 1 into your hand, the other into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Seems pretty fucking good in Graveyard Recursion.
Oh, yeah, you mean putting a fucking big-ass creature into my graveyard, like, I don't know, Shuldred?
Yeah. You mean a 2 for tutor? Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't like how you said that. Yeah, seems good. I would hate to play against that. Graveyard Recursion is horrible. It's literally a reason I made a whole fucking deck that is centered around stopping Graveyard Recursion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. That's all there is. I kill shit and bring it back. Hell yeah. So,
dope.
Here's Xavier.
Yeah.
What's your brewing?
What am I brewing? I am brewing a Nekuzar the Mindraiser deck. Yes, original, I know. It's a deck that nobody's made before.
Nope.
It's not a $6 commander. Nekuzar the Mindraiser is 2 colorless, and then Grixis, so blue, black, red. Legendary creature, zombie wizard. He is a 2/4. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekuzar the Mind Razor deals 1 damage to that player. So the twist to this is that I not only care about people drawing cards, my whole goal with this Grixis deck is to eliminate cards from everyone's disposal by any means possible. So I'm trying to eliminate whole libraries and hands, and I really just want to stop people from playing Magic.
So stacks.
Yes, but worse somehow, because it's going to focus specifically on milling, drawing, and exiling cards from people's libraries. So it's like all your options are just disappearing, is what the plan is.
Oh, sick. I hate it.
Yeah, right? Super fun. Why am I doing this? I don't really know. I've just been in a mean streak with my deck building lately. Maybe it's a problem. But some highlights for this, and it's a card I've talked about. This is like 2 episodes in a row where I'm just like making mean decks just to make mean decks. And I will say that Grixis is a color I always return to in deck building. I've always been drawn to it. I usually just have one Grixis deck that does nothing, and it just spins wheels that just makes games last for 4 hours. I'm hoping this one has more direction. It is still going to have a lot of those chaotic elements. I'm just a quirky random guy. Rawr, I speak dinosaur.
Oh, that's a fucking inside joke. Wow.
Yeah, dude, Rafflecopter.
My Rafflecopter goes swah, swah, swah.
Swah, 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 swah. Highlighting Crumbling Sanctuary, not only because it has our boy Squee in the art, which I did not talk about last time, but it is worth mentioning because Squee's dubious as fuck. He's a dubious monarch. No longer immortal. Rip. 5 colorless for Crumbling Sanctuary. For each 1 damage that we dealt to a player, that player removes the top card of his or her library from the game instead. We're also going to have Mind Crank in this deck. 2 colorless for an artifact. Whenever an opponent loses life, that player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Just a lot of mean stuff like that. We'll have Fleet Swallower in there. It's 5 colorless, 2 blue pips. Whenever it attacks, target player puts the top half of his or her library rounded up into his or her graveyard. It's 6/6. We'll have Tessian Mindbreaker in there. It's 7 colorless for a 6/4. Whenever it attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded up, and then it has Unearth for 1 colorless and 3 blue pips. So if you mill yourself, you can always unearth it, and bing bang boom, somebody mills half their deck. We're gonna have Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which is just a really funny blue card that if you have, you might as well throw it in any blue deck because it's like needlessly mean. Like for how much it costs, this card is really fucking mean.
Yeah, it is. It's really mean.
1 colorless, 2 blue pips for 3. This is a 3 mana card. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until that player has exiled cards with total mana value 20 or more. That card is so fucking mean. Yeah. And it's just a rare. Like, it's a rare. It's a sorcery. It's like turn 3, you eliminate so many options from someone. Land, even. If somebody happens to hit just a pocket of land in their deck, you just keep exiling those because they don't cost anything. And then you get to exile more. Devastating to goblin decks where they have historically low mana cost.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fucking seriously mean card.
It's very mean. I hate it.
So just a lot of mean stuff like that. Fractured Sanity, that's from Modern Horizons 2. It's 3 blue pips. Each opponent mills 14 cards. You can cycle it for 1 colorless and blue. So you discard this card, draw a card, and when you cycle Fractured Sanity, each opponent mills 4 cards. So you get to draw a card, and then each opponent mills 4 cards for 2 mana. Seems pretty fucking good.
It's like Fraying Sanity, but worse.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just going to be a lot of those chaos things. We're going to put Descent into Madness, which nobody ever likes to see.
I love that card.
Like, at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a despair counter on it, and then each player exiles X permanents, where X is equal to the number of despair counters, so that includes land. And it's really kind of on you as a player how long you want that to stay out, because you can always exile. You can exile Descent into Madness until you don't have an option, right? So, do you want to exile all your lands? Because it doesn't say non-lands; it's just permanents. It's really fucking mean. This deck's gonna be very sorcery instant, non-creature spell heavy. So we have a couple cards in there like Thermal Alchemist. It is 1 colorless, 1 red for a 0/3 defender. You can tap it, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap it. So I got a lot of cards in here that want me to play cards that are not instants and sorceries. It makes them cheaper. Or that are instants and sorceries, makes them cheaper. I benefit from playing those. I draw cards. Opponents draw cards. They lose life. I have creatures that tap and do damage. It's just like not fucking fun to play against.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I made this one complaining about my Marin deck.
Yeah, I made this one with hate for sure in my heart. There's counter spells in it. I think it came from a place of I realized our group has a disturbing lack of counter spells within our play group. No, yeah, right. We have one guy that loves playing control, and I don't think I've ever missed a control player until I've just watched people go unchecked for so long. And part of it is because I am part of the problem, and we have all just decided that we're just going to stop playing counter spells and single target removal because it'd be cooler to put something else in there. But then it just results in... though.
But then I can do cool things.
It's true, but then you just get to watch other people wombo combo off besides you. So weird. Yeah. It's almost like having some of that might be helpful. I'm almost like relearning how to build decks. But I'm doing it the opposite by making one so filled with hate that eventually I'll even out. I will say I'm including one of my favorite counter spells in the game in this deck. It is Spell Swindle. It's kind of expensive. It's a 5-drop counter spell, but it is 3 colorless, 2 blue pips, counter target spell. You make treasure tokens equal to the converted mana cost or mana value, new terms. You make treasure tokens equal to the mana value of the spell you countered. So, someone's like, I'm going to tap out and play this X cost spell. Well, I guess that doesn't... Does that matter?
Yes. That was a bad example. Because it's the spell on the stack. So the converted mana cost of the spell includes the X, whatever they paid for X.
Perfect. Someone's like, I'm going to sanguinate for fucking $1 million. And you're like, nah, it's gone. And instead I made 1 million treasures. That seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, sanguinate, so they're going to put blood into you.
Yeah. Osmosis. Seems pretty good. It's like worth keeping the 5 mana up to do it. And then if you're playing a deck with blue in it and somebody sees you have 5 mana up, they're always tentative to do anything anyway. But this is like, this is a weird fact you're going to learn today. One listener... Oh, fuck. Oh,
Victor.
God. Victor. In France, there is giant invasive catfish, right? They're an invasive species. They hang out in the river. The pigeons in France, and I think specifically in Paris, have never been attacked by anything before, so they just hang out on the water. But nothing eats these invasive catfish, so they just roll up and they just eat pigeons out of the water like it's their fucking job. Right now, my play group is those pigeons because nobody counters anything. So me having 5 blue mana up and like, let's say 3 cards in hand, I don't think anyone's going to notice that I'm about to counter them. They're probably going to tap out and do the thing they do because we don't play like that typically. I'm going to play like that now and be fucking mean about it. And probably die very quickly because everyone's going to kill me.
You know, I so we were talking about how, well, mostly I was talking about my kind of trepidation on making my crick deck more competitive, and you talking about this. I'm kind of like, maybe we need that. Maybe we need a little bit more competitiveness.
Yeah. I mean, we love casual, but I think specifically you and I, somewhere along the way, we've become so casual, and now there's been this power creep in our group where it's like, oh man, I have to like go back and make actual good decks.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. The other thing is just because we've added so many people to our play group that there are so many different play styles now, and a lot of that lends itself to being to the power creep, because you get people that come in and are playing like nearly CEDH decks against our friend who just started playing and has like a precon in the deck that he put together on his own,
Yeah, and that's not knocking him. It's just he's just learning, and we have all these people that have been playing for years, or spend a lot of money on it and can play more competitive decks. So it is interesting, but that's what I like about Magic too. Is like, especially when you find that play group that you're gonna stick with. A lot of what you build is dependent on how people play, and that's said about. I mean, Magic is a fucking D&D ripoff. That's a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, and like all that shit is party based, and it's like you fill in the needs of your party. So in Magic, it is a gathering, right? You're gonna play what you need to do to keep up with everyone else, right? You're gonna go grind on your own and like fucking make a deck that's gonna let you stay in the game longer, because we want to win, but we love the interaction. So when you can't interact in a game of Magic, it's frustrating.
Yeah, and that's why everyone hates stacks.
Yes. And that's why people will probably not like this deck, because it
seems pretty stacksy.
It seems pretty. It's like Grixis stacks, which is weird, because stacks usually has white in it.
That's true. Yeah.
It's usually like just fucking.
That's actually
blue,
interesting.
White.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Now that you say it. And that's the kind of shit that I like, where I don't mind it as much, because it's like, oh, it's kind of stacksy, but it's Grixis. Yeah. And I love finding shit like that. Oh, it's, a combo deck that's colorless or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. It's like taking a thing that exists, but turning it on its head. Like, for the longest time, I wanted to make a white rogues deck, because there are a lot of white rogues that let you tutor for other rogues. It's just like not a mechanic that exists in Dimir rogues, which is a fucking thing that already exists and is very mean. So, I mean, it's still like, it's stacks. It's just a weird version of stacks, and I mean, we are who we are. I'm still not gonna play a normal deck.
No. I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot, so I'm gonna mention it. But I do play the most played mono black commander, but that's like my one CEDH deck that I've pretty much decided that I'm gonna like pour all of my CEDH into that, and then when we have people that show up that like have their really good shit, okay, I'll break that one out, or every once in a while. But I also have Blim. He's a comedic genius. So
you got the fun stuff, and then you got like you got your fucking build a card from scratch, and then you got the fucking Rari in the garage, or the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's your flex deck. It's like, all right, you're getting out of hand, and you are fucking. You think you're the shit. Okay, well, what about this? How's this?
Oh, is that what you think? Here you go.
Like,
Take
the
this.
turn 3 fucking win condition that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I will highlight that I'm putting a card in here that I have been just dying to put in something, and this finally seems like the right place to put it. It is from New Capenna. It's 2 colorless and a blue enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Oh, sorry. It's called Public Enemy. Enchant creature.
I love their music.
Flavor Flav. Speaking of flavor, enchant creature. All creatures attack enchanted creature's controller each combat if able. When enchanted creature dies, draw a card. And the flavor text says every Halo smuggler walks a razor's edge between untold riches and sudden disaster. I just like it because it's like everyone's like, hey, it's goading but weirder. It's everyone has to attack someone, and with these new Dominuses being introduced, everyone wants to make their Dominus indestructible, right? So you throw this enchantment on somebody's fucking indestructible Dominus, so it's not gonna die, and then every turn everyone has to attack that one so fucking dude. So it's like punishment for indestructible, or punishment for their fucking Guardian Gomazoa or wall that prevents damage, you know what I mean? So, or punishment for the Phyrexian Vindicator. I love it.
Is it punishment for the Vindicator? I mean, I guess kind of.
You can only block one. You have to swing everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, with Phyrexian Vindicator, they can block one and then also kill another attacker.
Yeah, it could.
But also, you know, it's funny. It's funny to make other people's creatures do that shit. And then also if I have creatures with Defender, they can't attack, right? So I don't have to worry about it.
I'll be honest, I got distracted looking at Joven and Chandler again.
Holy shit. We need to talk about those cards immediately because, like... I think we've both been waiting for a deck where we could fucking put those guys in. Alright, I got Chandler if you want to talk about Jack Black.
Okay, sure.
What does Jack Black do?
So Jack Black, Joven is 2 red and 3 colorless for a 3/3 legendary. He's been eroded to be a rogue.
But I like Summon Legend better because Joven's a fucking legend.
Joven's a legend. His ability is pay 3 and tap him to destroy target non-creature artifact. That's fine, I guess. But
it's the days of yore. It's bad, but you know.
Yeah. It's Jack Black. It's like literally just a character that Jack Black would play. Joven and Summon Legend goes so well with that.
It's like somebody took Jack Black and his the character he voiced in, what was that? Like Brutal Legend or whatever, that Jack Black video game.
Yeah.
Somebody slammed actual Jack Black and that guy together and made Joven.
Yeah.
Joven looks like he would judge you for liking Metallica and he'd be like, really, name like 5 B-sides or whatever, like.
Yeah.
This dude is a bouncer, or this dude plays bass in a fucking Metallica cover band.
Oh my god.
And then, and his creature name is just a fucking dude name. He doesn't have a title, it's just Joven.
Also, I was looking at them because you mentioned you wanted to make a white rogue deck. I wanted to make a red rogue deck, and so Joven and Chandler have been eroded to be rogues, so that's why they came
perfect. Chandler is 4 colorless and 1 red pip for Chandler. Summon Legend. He's a fucking legend. He's a 3/3. I also can't stress this enough, and Jack will throw it up in the video because he does that, and I don't know how to do any of that.
I throw up a lot.
The art looks like he's wearing a hat he made out of newspaper.
It's not Not just that, he also scribbled all over it with a Sharpie.
Yeah, it looks like a paper hat. Chandler, Summon Legend, you pay 3 red pips, horrible, to tap and destroy target artifact creature. Just fucking bad.
So bad.
Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine the play? Somebody drops Encroaching Mycosynth, which is fucking new and shiny and fun, and you play Chandler, and you're just... like in your mono red deck and your 3 mana smoking fucking everything they have. Oh my god.
Oh boy. Love it.
Oh god. Joven and Chandler, like the original memes. And they're just like, I literally can't stress enough. This art is clearly, they drew a person, right? There's like no way these people are not just fucking people that exist in the world. It's like some dude's fucking brother. Yeah. Some developer's brother that got drawn as a Magic card. Are they brothers?
Yeah.
Dude.
Joven and Chandler? They're brothers, dude.
How have we not... We talk about Trash Tribal and we've never talked about a Joven Chandler deck before. How is this just happening? It's worth mentioning Chandler is 9 cents on TCG Player.
Oh god.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Joven is 16 cents. He's so much more because he can destroy non-creature artifacts.
Yeah.
He's way better.
Both of them just care about artifacts. They just care about creature and non-creature artifacts. They couldn't make him just destroy target artifact. Like, how do I make this worse?
Yeah. What were we talking about?
My deck. I'm done. It's mean. That's it. It's just mean. And maybe, like, it won't even be Nekusar, because I don't know if I would even want to pay $6. It's just, like, this deck is just so mean that it can be really any Grixis commander, and it doesn't matter. That, like, Nekusar would just make it extra mean.
Well, if you have, like, Nekusar and the new Shuldred out or something.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of having... There's something Dissident Mage that lets you cast instants and sorceries from your graveyard each turn on each of your turns, and then if you cast it instead of going in the graveyard, it is exiled. And in such an instant sorcery heavy deck that cares about milling, I mean, I'm self-milling it as well. That might not be the end of the world, and I already have that card, so that's probably going to be my commander. But for the purpose of the podcast, Nekusar.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, not fun. But it'll be fun for me.
Well, that's okay. That's my motto for my mono black deck, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm actually, so this is kind of, I'm hoping this will be some sort of slowdown for your mono black deck.
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, good luck. I was just thinking about the other day, and when I was getting fucking, like, wombo comboed by that shit, I'm like, man, if anyone here had a single target removal or counter spell, none of this could be happening.
Yeah.
But we don't run it, so now I'm making a deck that cares about it. Although there's no single target removal in this deck still.
Oh my god.
There's just board wipes. Board wipes and counter spells, baby. Alright. That's it. Cool. What's going on with our fucking end step or sideboard? How do we do this? I always forget which one we do first.
Well, the end step would be the end of the pod, so hey, let's go to the sideboard. Sideboard's where we talk about things that aren't magic related, or sometimes we talk about things that are magic related, because it's our podcast and we can do whatever the fuck we want. If you don't like it, you can go home, but also you should keep our podcast running because we need those views.
Surprise, sideboard is just more of us talking.
Yeah. Wow, who would have thought? So for my sideboard, I don't have anything exciting. I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 and wow, cowboy game good.
Ooh, cowboy fun.
Yeah, fun be cowboy. I like it. And it's cool because it's, there's a complaint with a lot of open world games where, yeah, the world is big, but it's empty, and go to tower, climb the tower, okay, now go do all of the things that it marked that are actually all just the same thing. Oh, God. Cowboy game actually has different things and like all these events in the world that happen that you can intervene with or not if you so choose. So the world is way more fleshed out, and it's a good game. If you get a chance, you should play it.
Yeah, I used to spend hours on the first Red Dead hunting mythical animals.
Yep.
I would go to the cougar cabin where it just would spawn cougars constantly around it, and me and my buddies would take turns trying to see how many laps we could run around the house and get back in. You'd either like see how many laps you could run and die, or see how many laps you could run and then get back in the house before you died, and you weren't allowed to shoot anything. You just had to run.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, or I would just spend hours jumping off of cliffs in carriages and watching myself ragdoll.
Yeah, the ragdoll is great. You can just like kick people off of a ledge with your horse and watch them fall.
Yeah, it was great. Super fun. Love Red Dead. It's a simple life.
It's a good game. So what you got?
For my sideboard, I'm not going to be talking about horror today because I've been in a weird, huge fantasy rut lately. Ludacris would say, "What's your fantasy?" And I say, Lord of the Rings. I've really
Hell yeah.
I've watched the trilogy twice over, and I started Rings of Power on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
And I heard a lot of hate about that, and I literally don't understand what the fuck anyone's complaining about. Maybe it's because I never read the books, and I don't really care about the original source material. I just care about the movies. I'm that fucking guy. Deal with it. And Rings of Power is fun, It's like just more of what I want to watch. I'm just looking for a good fantasy series, so that isn't Game of Thrones.
Fuck Game of Thrones. And I'm about to say it, Game of Thrones is bad.
Yeah, I read the books, and I tapped out like 50 pages before the ending of the last book, and this is like right when I read these like right when Game of Thrones got picked up as a TV show, so
yeah,
it's just like, I don't know, it becomes like fan fiction-y and weird, and it's clear it's just written by a dude that just wants to make certain characters do certain things. I'm not really into it. So I've been watching that, and Vox Machina on Amazon Prime's fun too. It's just like more adult, sophomoric Lord of the Rings. And it's just like they're like, fuck, piss, shit, and violent bloodiness, and it's animated and it's fun. Whatever. Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons. Super cool to think that a group of people that were in a Dungeons and Dragons party that recorded themselves doing their live campaigns on YouTube got their own show based on the characters and campaigns they played. I love that idea. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's super fucking cool.
Yeah, good for them. So, yeah, that's it. Watch Rings of Power. Watch Vox Machina. They're fun. Just don't take yourself so seriously. Fucking chill out.
Yeah, chill. And pass the blunt.
Chill till the next episode.
Chill till the next episode, and in the meantime, re-listen to all of our other episodes on a loop.
Like 6 times, at least.
At least. If you're not listening to all of our episodes at least 6 times, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I guarantee there's at least a couple Easter eggs in there that you never caught.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the early ones where we just, cared more.
Now we're like, damn, this is...
We're 11 episodes deep and somehow we're, hardened.
All right. So if you are going to do that, we are Magic on Tap on every platform. Instagram, Magic on Tap. Untapped, Magic on Tap. YouTube, Magic on Tap. If you do want... Oh, yeah. So Untapped. We rate all the beers that we talk about, and we just give them 5 stars and make Magic cards based on the name because fuck Untapped. Yeah. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And, Captain, I think that island is following us.